All right, this is module 10, which is a bonus plate making course. I wanted to do this so that I could ensure that the whole course was approachable for everyone. Plates are historically one of the hardest things to make. I've had so many failures with all the different methods and would get a lot of cracking and warping even with wheel throwing plates and rolling plates. It depends a lot on the clay you use, but for the one I use predominantly, I was getting those problems a lot and losing a lot of work. So I thought I'd let you guys know the method I've been taught by Sally Mae Mills, which has drastically reduced my losses with plates, and I get a lot of questions about it. So I'll show you now. What you are going to need is this is called a harp. This is something you can buy from most pottery stores. It's good, it's sturdy, it's rigid, and it's just got a wire here which with a bit of strength you can go up a few rungs. So that cuts at 10 mil for every cut, so that's useful, especially if you're doing decorative work like tiles. You can make one at home, which I actually use these a lot. I find them easy actually, because when you've got a big slab of clay, it's simply 2 pieces of timber and then you have very precise and equal cuts. This is my smaller thickness, so these ones are 8 mil, and then you get a bit of fishing braid and wind it between the two, and I'll show you in a second how to cut it. But after you cut each one, then you can easily notch it up to the next one, and then you cut the next one and the next, right up to 10 cuts. So that's actually really versatile and easy as well. You also need a rib tool and a needle tool for your cutting to shape, a damp sponge, and that's about it. Oh, and an FCS plate. So if you're not familiar with FCS, it's fibre cement sheeting, and it's really worth getting some cut to size. Whether you need big ones, they're used all the time in ceramics because they draw out moisture and they help to get a nice even drying. So I use about this size all the time, so that's really useful. So I'll show you the method now. So I've got my clay here. I'll just cut off a small bit so I'm not too noisy. Basically, I'll cut off a chunk, put that to the side. With FCS, you do need to watch that you don't leave it on there too long because it will start to dry unevenly. So basically, once you've got a slab, you can sort of throw it around until you get it roughly the shape you're looking at. Clay actually really likes having this slamming effect. It doesn't so much like being rolled, but it does not mind this. So once it's roughly the shape that you want, you can tidy up the edges a little bit like that. You can use your harp or your homemade ones. I'll just use the harp this time. And you just hold it nice and firm, cut through, and then if you're going to make several of the same thing, you can just move it up and keep on cutting. But this time I'll just do the one. Move that off to the side. Now I'm going to transfer it onto my FCS board that it will stay on. So the way that you handle it, we really want to minimize handling with plates. So I just sort of hang it like that and gently move it on. Then I'm going to get my rib, and this is compressing. So anyone who's done much clay, you'll know that you have to compress and compress and compress. You can't really over compress, as Sally says. So I'll sort of go a few times one way, a few times the other way. For some clays that's enough. This one I'm familiar with. I know I need to do it both sides, so I very carefully move it. If it's got some cracks in it like that, I'll use this as my underside of a plate or a tile and just compress that side as well. Once I'm happy with the finish, I'll just get a nice damp sponge ready, my needle tool, and then you can just cut it to any size that you want or any shape that you want. So I'll just give a nice organic line here, bring it back around, and then you can just get rid of that. I often use these little scraps to make random little animals or textiles or something like that. Otherwise they can go in your slop bucket. Now this is a good time to run your sponge around and just tidy up the edges. If you're making like a flat decorative type of plate or a cheese board, you could just cut a little hole in it. But if you're planning to make a plate with a rib, now's a great time, if it is firm enough, so long as it's not too soft, it's a great time to just move it around and lift that up now. So the way I explain it to people when we're doing this in classes in person is you want to think of it almost like a spine, in that you don't do it all at once, that you just go incrementally. So you don't try and lift it into place straight away. You'll just take it around and around a little bit at a time. Again, I'm minimizing how much I'm moving the actual clay, and I'm moving the board instead. So once I'm happy, I could pinch it, or I could cut little scallops out of it, whatever you like. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like that, and I just finish off the edges. And that's your organic plate. And there's a really good chance that that will be safe from cracking and warping. And it's all about now the way that you dry it, ready for decorating, and then dry it ready for firing. So just give it another last little compress. So if you are still getting problems with cracking or warping from this point, have a look at the way that you're drying it. Also consider the type of clay that you're using. And if you continue to have problems, possibly talk to your pottery group to see if they can help isolate what the issue is. Plates do need some special attention when drying. You wouldn't keep them where there's a draft or where there's direct sunlight. You need to be a little bit precious with them. So I keep them in a spot where they can't get any light directly. And I'll often put them in a space like this, which has no air current at all, and that gives it the best chance of having nice even drying with some good ventilation. So best of luck. I hope that you get to make some of these successfully, as they make great little canvases for your decorative work.